Hello friends, my name is Gauri Shankar Ekwar and I welcome you not in my video but today I am welcoming you in my tea shop. So the tea shop, the must know concepts of accounting. So this is a part 1 video and in this video we are covering the basic concept of accounting, the concept which everyone must know in their day-to-day life so they can easily understand the certain terminology of accounting and they can make the balance sheet and the profit and loss account of their own affairs. So let's begin. So our tea shop. With this example, I'm trying to give you certain practical thinking that let's because tea shop is something which everybody is aware. So in tea shop, the normal business transaction like first is selling the tea. The every tea shop they sell the tea. Then there are certain expenses which they incur. So like the purchase of milk, they pay wages, electricity bill and fuel bill like they use gases or other fuel, and then they have certain items like utensils like cups and all the utensils to make the tea. Then they have furniture, shop. Yeah, sometimes they can buy a shop or they can take it is on rent also, but in this case we are assuming that the tea shop is there, they are having their own shop. Okay, so then there would be stocks. Stock means nothing but whatever is left over that our raw material. So it is not necessary that every day which we are buying that we can sell the entire quantity. Sometimes the milk will be there, the sugar will be there, the tea leaves will be there. So these are our stock. Then finally we would be having certain balance, cash balance in our hand, and and the other transaction like capital. So when we starting our business, then definitely we require some capital. So it can be funded through our own saving, or we can take the loan from relative or friends. So these are some basic element or transaction in which we can find in a tea shop. So through this tea shop, I am trying to give you the whole concept of the accounting. So let's begin. So in this video, we are covering basically the accounting, transaction, income, expenses, assets, liability. So these are the basic concept. And for recording that transaction, we need to understand the meaning of journal book, daily book, accounts, trial balance, profit and loss account, balance sheet, and finally the golden rules of accounting, so that anybody, including you and me, will not make any mistake while recording this transaction and we can make a profit and loss account or balance sheet for our business. So let's begin. So accounting. So what is accounting? So accounting means recording of business transactions. So in our tea shop, we are going to sell the tea or we are buying this raw material like milk and tea, sugar. So we need to record these business transactions in a systematic way or meaningful way so that we can achieve the desired objective. Also, okay, so what would be the desired objective? Just to know the final position, whether the business which we are running through our tea shop, is it in profitable or in loss position. Okay, so while recording these transactions, we need to use certain standard formats so that everyone can understand, okay, these are the formats. So okay, so sometimes if suppose you are there, if you are not there, then somebody else will attend this accounting function, so they can simply record the transaction in the standard format, and thus they can also follow the same system of accounting. Okay, so accounting means again recording of business transaction in a systematic way or meaningful way to achieve desired objective of our business. So, as we have discussed, for accounting, we need to have first a business transaction. So, our tea shop, the first business transaction which can come into our mind is selling the tea. So, selling the tea, buying the milk, purchasing the sugar, or so incurring the expenses or taking the money from relatives or buying the shop. So, these are the business transactions. So, before starting the any accounting, we need to have certain business transactions so that we can start our accounting, and these transactions are basically to achieve the desired objective of our business. Okay, so we carried out these transactions in normal course of business. So the examples are selling, purchase, borrowing, or building or purchase of assets. So these are the business transaction. Okay, so now as we have gone through the transaction of our tea shop, like in our earlier slide, we have mentioned that there are some selling of tea, buying the milk, purchasing the milk. Then we got certain utensils or furniture, fixtures. So these are the transactions which we are going to do in our business. So we need to bifurcate those transactions into four categories. So first category is expenses, then second is income, third is liability, and fourth is assets. So when we bifurcate it, or we can classify those categories of transaction in these four categories, then the objective or the job is very simple. So anything which is related to expenses or income, we are simply trying or transferring those transaction to profit and loss account. So because whenever we incur any expenditure or when we earn an income, these are directly related to profit and loss account. So the whole purpose of doing this income and expenses transaction for business is just to have the final income or the profit and or loss of the business. Then another two categories is basically the liabilities and assets. So these transactions are related to balance sheet. So first two categories of transaction are profit and loss account transaction, and the last two categories of transaction are balance sheet transaction. Okay, so these are the four categories of transaction or four group of transactions. The next, let's understand one by one the transaction. So expenses transaction. So the transaction through which we expenses incur or cash is spent for the business. So we can spend the cash for either in two ways. So one is simply incurring the expenditure, like I can purchase the tea or milk or sugar, or second, I can also buy a shop for my for starting the business. So I spend my cash for two purposes: one for incurring the expenditure, or second for building or creating any assets. So the transaction through which we incur the expenditure for business are the expenses transaction, and these transactions are related to profit and loss account. So the example for our tea shop is like example of this expenses transactions are purchase of milk, sugar, tea, and wages, salary, shop rent, electricity. These are the example of expenses transaction. Other examples could be commission paid, dividend paid, interest given, etc. So these are the expenses transaction. Next, income transaction. The transaction through which income or cash is generated from business. So the transaction through which income or cash is generated. So because in our tea shop, thus by selling the tea we can generate the cash. So this is the income transaction, and these transactions are related to profit and loss account. So if we talk about the example in our tea shop, definitely the first thing is selling the tea. So sales account is our income transaction. Other could be interest received, interest on bank deposit or a saving account, or commission received, or with dividend received. So these are the income transaction, and these transactions are related to profit and loss account. Next categories of transactions is liabilities transactions, the transaction through which assets or expenditures are financed. So basically these are the transactions through which we finance the assets or expenditures. So in other words, the liabilities are the source of funding for assets or expenditure. So for example, if I'm starting my tea shop today, it is not going to happen that I am starting my selling the tea today itself. So for incurring certain expenditure, like I need to buy a shop or I need to buy milk, then I need to put certain amount in business. So that amount can be either come from my saving, or I can take the loan from my friends and relative. So the source of funding for my assets means I have to buy the tea shop or the furniture, or for incurring the expenditure, I need to incur certain liability. So liability can be in the form of capital, loans, sundry creditor, or outstanding expenditure. We will discuss this concept or terminology like what is the capital, what are the loans, what are the sundry creditors whenever there is a requirement. But as of now, the liabilities through which the transaction, that expenses or the assets are financed, are called liability transaction, and these transactions are related to balance sheet. The next category of transaction is asset transaction. So the transaction through which assets are created or purchased. So let's understand what is the meaning of assets for our tea shop. So in the first slide, we have seen that there are utensils, furnitures. So these are the transactions which are held in the business to help the business operation. Okay, so if I am buying a shop for running my tea shop, so that the shop will be there till my business is there. Likewise, my plant and not plant, my furnitures are there to support my business. So here I am not going to sell my furniture, or neither I am going to sell my shop. So when these transactions, when I spend uh, money for creation of such kind of transaction which are not going to sold in the not this normal course of business, these are related to my assets. So the shop, buying a shop, or buying plant and machinery, or buying this furniture fixtures, these are the example of asset transaction. And assets are not sold in normal course of business. So the assets, basically these are there to support our business so that we can earn the income. So suppose in our tea shop, if I buy a shop, it will help me to run my business. Okay, likewise, if I buy furniture, so furniture, with the use of furniture, my customer, they can come and they can sit and they can have tea and they can go back. So the transaction through which we assets are created or we purchase the assets are called the assets transaction. So few other examples are land and building, plant and machinery, goodwill, sundry creditors. We will understand the meaning of certain typical like goodwill or sundry creditors in the coming slide. But as of now, from the tea shop point of view, we can take two things. One is our shop which we have bought, or our furniture, that we can take as example of asset transaction. Now, as the sole purpose of our business is just to earn the income, and that income, how to find that, whether we are incurring the income or we are running the loss. So there is a statement called profit and loss account through which we can find out whether we are earning the income or we are making the loss. So what is a profit and loss account? So the profit and loss account is a statement for a particular period. So here the important thing is it is for a particular period. It means it is not as on particular date. It is for a particular period. So suppose that period could be 1 month, a quarter, or 6 months, or a year. The objective is to find out the final position of the business operations. So when we say or when we talk about business operation, it means how much profit or loss we are making through our business transaction for the business. So net profit or loss from the profit and loss account is transferred to the balance sheet, because ultimately the objective of preparation of profit or loss account is just to have final position, whether it is profit or loss account or loss. So whatever the final outcome, whether it is profit or loss account, the same is transferred to the balance sheet. Depending on the nature, if it is profit, then it goes to liability, and if it is loss, then it is a asset. Then we will understand this concept later on, why the profit is a liability and why the loss is asset, in the coming slide. Okay. Now another typical and important concept is the balance sheet. So what is the balance sheet? So the profit and loss account, where the whole objective of the profit and loss account is just to find out whether we are running the business in profit or loss. The objective of the balance sheet is just to have the position of the business, whether we are, what is the final position of our assets and liability, because these assets are financed through liability. So whether we have sufficient liability and whether sufficient assets are generated through our operations so that our business can meet the liability. Okay, so what is the balance sheet? It is a statement at point of time, as we can see in the format. It is a heading is given, format of balance sheet, and it is as on March 31st 2000, say 31, 21, anything. So the balance sheet is always at a point of time. Okay, so the balance sheet is always as point of time, whereas the profit and loss account is for a particular period. Okay, showing the position of assets and liability of the business. So the balance sheet indicates the position of assets and liabilities for the business, or a statement of source of funds and utilizations of funds. So as I have mentioned in earlier slide, that the liabilities are the source of fund and assets are the utilization of fund. Okay, it becomes more relevant when we compare the balance sheet of two or more periods, so we can easily understand whether our assets are increasing or whether our liabilities are going down and what is the final position. So it indicates the soundness of our business. Okay, next, effect of a transaction. Okay, so now after having the knowledge of basic concept of assets, liability, income, expenses, now we have to think about recording of transactions. So when we talk about a transaction like selling, purchase, then we need to understand what are the effect of transaction. So a transaction affects the two accounts. So first rule is, whenever we incur transaction, it affects two accounts. Okay, then affects two side of account, then affects opposite side of account. So two account, two sides of account, and then affects opposite side of account. So there are two sides of account, that is, one is debit and second is credit. Right now, please don't worry about this, what is the debit and what is the credit. We are going to understand, and I guarantee you that you will understand this concept by the end we finish this video. So don't worry about that, this debit, what is the debit, what is the credit. So we have taken an example here that we have started the tea shop with rupees 1000. So this is our example. Okay, so when we talk about a transaction or business transaction, so what is the first tool? It affects two accounts. Okay, so two accounts mean one is capital account and second is cash account. So definitely when we start our business, then what we'll do, we will put some cash in the business, or so there will be two sides. One, the cash is coming, so that will be asset for the business, because through asset we can that on the this expenditure, and the capital account through which the asset is financed, means through which the cash has come. So now the two side, second is two sides of account. So the cash account is debit and capital account is credited. So the two sides, so cash account debit and capital account credit. We will understand, friends, I'm repeating, we will understand how we are going to debit the cash account, how we are going to capital or credit the capital account in the later slides. So don't worry, this is just example of a transaction, that how many effects or how many effect of a transaction are there. So a transaction affects two account, it affects two sides of account, and it affects opposite sides of account. So if my cash account is getting debited, then my capital account will be credited. So it will there will not be a single transaction where the two accounts will be debited or credited together. So it will be always opposite. So two side, debit or credit, then which account to be debited, which account to be credited, we will find out in the coming slide. Okay. In the last slide, there are nominal account, this real account and personal account. So let's understand one by one what is required, because once we are clear that what is the norm, this nominal account, then only we can set or find out certain rule which accounts needs to be debited and which accounts needs to be credited. Okay, so we are starting with the nominal account. So what are the nominal account? Account related to income and expenditures. Okay, so any account which are related to income or expenses are nominal account. For example, if I take the example of my tea shop, so if I'm buying a milk or I'm buying a sugar or I'm paying the electricity for my shop, then these are the expenses. So these expenses are the nominal accounts. So if I'm making the account for these expenses, these account would be classified as nominal account because these are related to either income or expenses account. Okay, so for the income side, like if I'm making a sales account for my tea shop, so if I'm selling the tea, and so the transactions related to selling the tea would be my income, and so the nominal account, so both are related to income and expenses. The second is prepared every year or every period. So these accounts are prepared every year. It means these are not the balance or under these accounts are not carry forward in the subsequent year. What happened? So the third point is closed by transferring the balance to the profit and loss account. Okay, so the destiny of nominal accounts belong to profit and loss account because these nominal accounts are related to income or expenses and prepared everywhere and closed by transferring the balance in the profit and loss account. So the account with debit balance, they go to expenses side or debit side of the profit and loss account, or account with the credit balance, they go to income side of the credit or the profit and loss account. Okay, so here we are having our first golden rule, that is debit the expenses and credit the income. So this is a very important rule for nominal account: debit the expenses and credit the income. So suppose if my transaction is I have paid 20 rupees for buying the milk. So milk is my expenses. So what I'll do, I will do simply purchase account debit because this is my expenses. And what I'll do, since it is my expenses, I will credit another account, but we will find out the later. But since my expense is buying the milk or buying the uh, other this ingredients for making the tea, they are the expenses, or when the stock is there, then they become the asset. Okay, so debit the expenses and credit the income. So if I'm selling the tea, then what I'll do, I will credit my sales account. So if there is income, please debit, sorry, if there is an expenditure, please debit the expenditure and credit the income. So if we are purchasing anything for our shop, then it is debited, and if if we are earning income through the transaction like sales account, then we will credit the income account, in other words the sale account. The second category of the accounts is real account. So the real accounts having real existence, for example cash, land, building, etc. So the accounts which are having their own existence, they are not belonging to any particular people or class of people. So it means they are having their own existence, and these related to assets only. They can be both tangible or intangible. So what is a tangible? Tangible means the transaction or the asset which we can see, like land and building, plant and machinery. And intangible assets are like which are there in the on the book, but we can not see in a physical form, like goodwill, preliminary expenditure, etc. Okay, so the real accounts are basically the accounts or the assets account which are having their own existence. So balances in the account is transferred to balance sheet. So like the real account, they are not transferred to profit and loss account, they are transferred to balance sheet. So now the golden rule. So if suppose we are entering into any transaction, so what is the golden rule for real account? So real account, the golden rule is, and this rule is very important because entire accounting is dependent on these three rule only. So for real account, the rule is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So suppose here I am taking an example. I am buying a shop for my tea business. Okay. So shop. So what I'll do, I will debit my shop account because shop is coming to me or coming to my business. So what comes in debit and what goes out credit. So if it is a real account, and so what is coming to, so you can debit, and what is going out even credit. So what I do, I will debit my shop account, and suppose if I'm buying through cash, which is another real account, so what I do, I will credit the cash account. Okay, so here please understand, this is a very important aspect of accounting. In the real account, if there are two real account, and so before debiting or crediting any account, we need to understand what is coming to business and what is going out. So if I bought a shop, then the shop is coming in and my cash is going out. So what I'll do, I will do shop account debit to cash account. Okay, so hope this rule is clear. Then the last category of account is personal account. So accounts other than, in simple words, account other than nominal accounts or real accounts are the personal account. However, let's start. Accounts belong to individual, group of individual or organization. It can be both assets or liabilities. Balances in account is transferred to balance sheet. Personal account with debit balance are the assets, and personal accounts with credit balance are the liabilities. Okay, so simple words, there are three types of account. First is nominal account, second is real account, and third is personal account. So other than the nominal account and real account, all are the personal accounts. Okay, but in other words, the accounts belonging to an individual, a group of individual or organizations are called personal account, and it can be both assets as well as liability. So what is the golden rule? Because as I have mentioned that personal accounts belongs to an individual, it means to a person. Okay, so here the rule is debit the receiver and credit the giver. Okay, so suppose I have incurred a transaction. So in tea shop, what I have done, I have just simply, I have given 100 rupees advance to my worker. Okay, so what I'll do, I will debit my worker account, or say suppose his name is X. So Mr. X will be debited. Okay. So since it is a personal account, because the X is a person, so I will debit because he is receiving the money, and since my cash is going out and the cash is real account. So the other rule will apply. What goes out is cash account. Okay. So the third and final rule for the accounting is, for the personal account, is debit the receiver and credit the giver. So suppose we take other example. Suppose if I take advances from someone else. So what will do, if I take a advance or loan, the money will come to my business. Okay, so money or cash or bank is a real account. So for real account, what is the rule? Rule is debit what comes in. So what I'll do, I will do cash account debit, and suppose I have taken that money from my friend who is Mr. X. What I'll do, from Mr. X. So my transaction or my entry would be cash account debit to Mr. X account. Okay. Here there are two different accounts. One is real account and another is personal account. Okay. So because there can be n number of combination, one can be in single entry there can be two nominal account, one nominal account, this real account, one nominal account, one this personal account. So there can be the combination of the accounts, but depending on the nature of the account we can apply the rule and our accounting will always be correct. Okay. So after having the basic concept and after having those three type of category, now let's begin the recording of transaction. So what is the recording of transaction? So transactions are recorded on daily basis because we run our business on daily basis. Because if our tea shop is there, so every day we'll go, we will sell some tea, we will purchase milk. So this is a normal course of business. So these transactions are recorded on daily basis. Okay, the transaction is recorded in a book which is called a journal book or daily book or cash book. Okay, so this is the preliminary book and account comes at the secondary stage, but this is the preliminary book where we record our transaction. Okay, so journal book opened and closed on daily basis. So the purpose of journal book or cash book is it is opened on daily basis and it is closed. Okay, so this is the source of entries for all other accounts, and making the final account means profit and loss account, balance sheet, cash flow statement. Okay, so the format of journal book, it look like date March so and so, and the format is date, then particulars, then cash. LF is nothing but ledger folio number because this is our just daily book. So we are maintaining certain account. We will understand those concepts later. So we are giving the page number of those account in the ledger book on which page number that particular account is there. So that is called ledger folio. Then amount debit and amount credit. So there was the first transaction that we have started our business with rupees 10,000. So here there are two accounts are involved. One is cash account and second is capital account. So the entry would be cash account. Why cash account to be debited? Because it's a real account, and since the rule is what comes in debit and what goes out credit. So here the cash is coming into the business, so we are debiting the cash account, and to capital account. So capital is a personal account and it is a giver. So we are crediting the capital account. So here we are concluding and we are reaching at the end of this video. So things to remember, because this is a pure theory, and even I have tried with the practical example, but I have not made any entries or I have not prepared any accounts. So things to remember. So there are four types of transaction. So what are the four types of transaction? These are income, expenses, assets and liability. Okay, and these four types of transaction are divided into three types of accounts. Okay, so these accounts are nominal accounts, real accounts and personal account. Okay, then these accounts are having two sides. One is debit and second is credit. And finally we have our three golden rules. Okay, so what are these rules? First is for nominal account, debit the expenses and credit the income. Second is for real account, debit what comes in and credit what goes out. And third is personal account, so debit the receiver and credit the giver. So with this thing we are concluding with the concept of accounting. But finally, before concluding, I am giving you a Ramban, that is the Ramban for accounting. Okay, so the Ramban is the transaction analyzer. So as I have started with this video, that for beginning the accounting, we need to have a business transaction. So once we are having a business transaction, we can have a simply tested on this transaction analyzer. So what we'll have, this is a transaction analyzer. So this is the format. So what is the final transaction? So this is transaction. Then what is the first account? What is the second account? And what is the debit account? And what is the credit account? Okay. So that in our example, we have started the business with rupees 10,000. So there, what is the first account? Because first account is cash account, because cash is coming to our business. So cash account is the first account, and second is the capital account. Okay. So then again, we need to find out the category of these accounts. So cash account is what? It is a real account, because it is having its own existence in the business. And the second is capital account is a personal account. Okay. It will come by practicing these accounts, and the more you practice, more we get the clarity. Okay, so transaction, first account, second account, then we need to identify their categories. So cash account is our real account, capital account is our personal account. Then which account to be debited? Okay, so cash account to be debited, because first it is a real account. Okay, second, because cash is coming into business, and the rule is what comes in debit and what goes out credit. Second account is credit account is capital account, because it's a personal account. Okay, and in the personal account the rule is debit the receiver and credit the giver. So this is the Ramban and the transaction analyzer. You can test all the transaction on this transaction analyzer, and then you can start your accounting entry. So with this, we have concluded our first part, and stay tuned for the part 2. There we are covering the practical example, accounting entries for our T-shop, analysis of transaction with our transaction analyzer, then adjustment entries. Then finally, in the same video, we are covering the preparation of journal book, opening and closing of accounts, making the trial balance, making the profit and loss account, making the balance sheet, and making the cash flow statement. So with this video, thank you. Thanks for watching this video, and hope I have cleared the basic concept in a very simple way. And still, if you have any doubt, you can mention the same in the comment box, or you can also write the same on my email ID. Thank you very much. Thanks again.